Hello and welcome back. My name is Kate. I will be your narrator for these short video uploads as I read through the book. Bloodlines Chupacabra, written and narrated by Kate Huddleston Gallipo. If you tuned in and watched my last video, when I narrated a 22-minute short from Bloodlines Chupacabra Chapter One, Segment 1, I will continue to write and narrate small segments and upload 15 to 30-minute videos over time from this book. I put a lot into writing this book, which had started out as an idea that had morphed into a script and screenplay originally. It sat for years until I decided to do something with it. I put a lot of hard work into it, so after a few years I decided no more collecting dust. I would rewrite it as a very short novella, then I published it. It wasn't until earlier this year that I had the idea of turning my book into a YouTube project. I had never thought of myself as a YouTuber. I am shy by nature. But here I am, and I hope that you enjoy these to some small degree. I was aware that my background in that video was a bit glitchy. I did fix that issue. I hope that you will be patient with me, as I am very new to this, and will strive to upload better quality content over time. Most of the time, I prefer to use an animated AI avatar, but decided instead to use this, which is an AI avatar clone of myself. I assure you that I am a real person. The video I uploaded a few days ago was just a sneak peek, and if you liked it, and are tuning in again, welcome and thank you. Let us return to where we left off, shall we? Bloodlines Chupacabra, Chapter 1, Segment 2. The sky had darkened so much that not a single soft glow of pinks or magenta remained, as the sun set, leaving our weary campers in total darkness. One could only see within a 5-foot radius, as even from a mile away, not even the soft glow of the fire would be seen. They were miles away from any real comfort, with their only source of light being the flames that emanated from their fire. Out in the dark, a soft purring sound could be heard. It was Biddy, the chestnut mare, softly nickering while enjoying fresh hay and oats. She had been a bit restless as she ate, as if in that moment something was irritating her. "Your mount seems a bit unsettled there, Larry," says Laura. "You might want to check up on her." Larry explains that he had borrowed Biddy from a friend at a farm back in town. "I'm sure she's fine, but I'll check on her anyway, just to reassure you, Miss Gray." Larry then rose up from his chair, walking over to the old mare, giving her a closer inspection. Cal joins Larry, taking out a small pocket knife, just in case she has the odd rock stuck in her shoe or within her hoof. Cal then lifts the horse's leg to take a look, and with an "aha," sure as he knew there, produced the pocket knife, proceeding to pick a rock that had wedged itself between her hoof and her shoe. That in itself could have caused her to become irritated, and the reason that she could have been pawing the ground earlier, see, says Cal, that's why she was so jumpy, she was in pain. "How do you know so much about horses?" Mr. Newitt asks Larry. Cal looks at the old man before replying. "Well, I actually grew up on a farm in North Carolina, and horses were a big part of my childhood." Larry smiles at the ex-Marine with relief. He had great instincts, and Larry was grateful for his help with the mare. "Well, she is a bit long in the tooth, but she's such a reliable pack horse, and just because her saddle days are behind her doesn't mean that she's any less useful." Larry's face showed just how much he cared for the old mare, and now that her hoof was relieved of its stony stowaway, went back to her snack, munching away. Larry pats Biddy on her neck, giving her a scratch behind her left ear, then slipping her a few sugar cubes. Softly talking to Biddy, he calls her an old friend, then looks at Cal, explaining to him that he was loyal to her. She had been on many a tour with him. Cal understood this and respected Larry for his loyalty to the old girl. Before they head back to sit down, Cal expresses how much he had learned back home, and knew that there was a strong bond between a mount and their rider, something that couldn't be broken. Once they had both returned and sat down, the conversations shared by the four were suddenly broken. A shuffling noise in the distance had broken their concentration, and an eerie silence fell upon the group as Biddy started snorting loudly. This was then followed by a shriek in the dark, then the sound of the panicked feet of a scared animal. "Okay, something's got that horse spooked," says Laura, as she watches the old chestnut mare lowering her head, letting out a low groan, almost a guttural wail, then pawed the ground 3 more times. Analyzing her behavior, Cal says, Now I've been around horses my entire life, and never heard a horse making such a low moaning sound like that. No need to worry, Miss Gray, says Larry. It is most likely just a coyote. As I said before, they roam at night, hunting, but rarely ever come this close to camp. She probably just caught its scent on the wind, says Larry. Anyways, he says, no need to worry, I have a shotgun just in case, to scare them off. If that makes you feel any better. Good to know, we've got protection. Thank you, Ranger Whitfield, says the slightly rattled financier from Seattle. As the four of them once again ease back into their chairs, and with the old mare comfortably silent, having decided to lay down for spell, the night air had a near chill, even though the winds had stopped, yet they drew their chairs closer, now huddled together around the fire. As a narrator, I feel that it's only fair to say that maybe you shouldn't listen into this story after all. Especially if you are too scared of the dark, then this may not be the tale for you. If you wish to continue, then welcome, though you have been warned. And once I begin, there is not turning back. Shall we continue? Or would you rather watch a video about cute puppies instead, if that's more to your liking? Solely up to you. Well then, let us move on. Talking amongst the four resumes as Sandra McCoy, slightly lit, holding her red solo cup in her right hand, chimes in, with tipsy toned speech, her face lit up and yet slightly rosy from the effects of the wine. I hate to be the loudmouth, says Sandra. But weren't you about to tell us a scary good story? You mentioned the chupacabra, so spill it. I have to know what happened. Laura Gray, who had been the quiet one, carefully places her cup on the ground, grabbing her water bottle. She's not much of a drinker, unlike her new friend. Cal sips the last bit of scotch the Larry had given him earlier, placing the cup in the holder, then looks at his three companions, waiting to see if anyone would flinch. Larry, taking this cue to get started, places his hands together, rubbing them together, showing his anticipation, looks down at his feet, then slowly raising his eyes up towards Sandra, Cal, and Laura, begins the tale. Hopefully there wouldn't be any further interruptions.